Okay, you're all welcome to this Business Sense webinar. I'm really, really excited to be coming your way at this time. It is always my pleasure to always get connected with to you and to also bring you um, value. I bring you value that will help move your business from where it is to a better place. I'm really excited to be here, and it's going to be an interesting time together as we're going to be looking at yet another very um, interesting topic. Talking about business leadership. All right, business leadership. It is one topic that's really dear to my heart. All right, that is why amongst several other options talking about subjects that we would have I would have easily treated, I thought to bring this because of the importance, and there's no better time to talk about business leadership than now. Right, there's no better time to talk about business leadership than now, and that is why I'm really excited to be bringing this your way at this time. This is Business Sense webinar series. All right, and in this series, we've been looking at a whole lot. We started by looking at branding, and now we're talking about business leadership. Now, one of the things I've come to understand about business leadership is the fact that, just like in the words of John C. Maxwell, business, just in the words of John C. Maxwell, he said that everything rises and falls on leadership. Permit me to also add this, that everything that happens in your business, it rises and falls on the leadership that you provide or that you didn't provide. Permit me to also say that I make bold to say this and to make this assertion that one of the remote reasons or the remote causes of several business failures is as a result of lack of or no leadership. It's as a result of lack of or, or no leadership. Excuse me. And that is why the subject of leadership in business is very, very important. That is why it is very, very, very important. I know that there are several notions out there as to what leadership is about. You understand? There are several notions out there as to what leadership is about. And when we talk about leadership, people tend to want to restrict it to the corridors of politics. But the truth of the matter is that as much as leadership within the political sphere is important, and the other sphere of life are also important, leadership in business is very, very important. It is very, very important. And that's the reason why we're dedicating this whole edition to talking about leadership in business. For the purpose of knowledge, my name is Simon Matthew. They call me the king of branding because I help individuals and businesses build globally relevant and profitable brands. All right. I'm a visual designer. I'm a branding coach and consultant, and also I'm also a trainer. Right. So, and it gives me a deal of pleasure, a great pleasure to be the one to be your facilitator today. And this particular series is powered by the Limitless O1 Group. At Limitless O1 Group, they have interest in technology, in branding, as well as general services. All right. And so, if you are looking for that shop partner that would help you achieve your dream of doing exploit on the global stage, Limitless O1 Group is one organization to partner with. All right. So let's get into the crux of the matter. Let's get into the crux of the matter. Now, that I want you to understand something. Like I was sharing with somebody some couple of years ago, I said that everyone who sets up a business is the spirit behind the business. Do you understand? Everyone who sets up the business is the spirit behind the business. Before I go any further, I want to just make this remark. I want you to please listen and please learn with an open mind, because sorry, a lot of bubbles will busted, right? But it is for the good of your business, and I hope that at the end of this, it will be worth your time. It will also be worth the sacrifice that you have made to be part of this at this time. All right. So so long as you are the creator of the business, you are the spirit behind your business. You are the spirit behind your business. So what this simply means is that whatever you do or refuse to do has a ripple effect, has some either a positive effect or a negative effect on your business. And that is why you need to begin to pay attention to what you emit into the business, what you breathe into your business, what you do or didn't do. It's very, very important. What you do or didn't do is very, very, very important. Now, sadly, one of the things I've come to understand, either by what I've seen, is the fact that not many founders of businesses are leading their businesses, are providing the leadership that the business needs. Which brings me to the point that it is possible for you to be a founder of a business and not be the leader of the business. I know somebody may be like, oh, what do you mean? I will explain to you. It is possible for you to be the founder of something and not be the leader of that thing. You become the leader when you take responsibility for what happens and what does not happen in that particular business. You understand? As we're dealing with business, so you're going to hear me mention business a lot. All right. That you are the founder of a business does not necessarily mean that you are the one leading the business. The person that leads the business is the one that takes responsibility for what happens in that business. So what this simply means is that the very day anyone assumes the responsibility, takes responsibility for dictating what happens and what shouldn't happen in your business, that person becomes the leader of the business. But the sad part would be that the person is leading it to a wrong or to an unknown destination. Now, that is the reason why it is important for you as the founder to begin to draw your chair closer, get your writing materials, and begin to take notes, because the things I'm going to be sharing with you are things that would help you take charge of your business. Because right now, you may be watching this right now, and by virtue of the things I'm going to be saying or what I've said so far, you might begin to feel a bit uncomfortable because you've suddenly realized that you're actually the one that you have actually not been in charge of your business. And that's a sad reality, because there are some employers, there are some business owners, business founders that have relegated the leadership of their businesses to their employees. And sadly, that these employees don't have any form of training. They don't even understand the objective behind why that business was set up. And so they are leading the business to a direction that is contrary to what the objective was for creating the business. And that's the reason why we have a lot of business failures here and there. Is the reason why within the first 3 or first 5 years of some businesses, or most of the businesses that have collapsed, is the reason. The reason is simply that the founders of these businesses are actually not in charge of the affairs of their businesses. What some persons feel they owe the business is to source for funds, source for capital, all right, source for all of the manpower, and just set up the business and go to sleep. But setting up the business is one thing. It's one thing. Setting up the business is one thing. Providing the leadership that the business needs to be able to run is another thing. And that is where the work is. Because it will determine whether or not, one, the business will fulfill its objective as to why it was set up. It would also determine whether the business will also grow. It also determine whether the business would even be established. And that's the reason why you need to begin to pay attention to leadership. You understand? I'm not saying now, I'm not implying that it is not okay that people should be in charge, that you give them the liberty to provide the leadership. But the truth of the matter is that whether you give people the duty to provide leadership, it is up to you to lead the path, to chart the way or to chart the course that your business will take. Otherwise, your business may be run aground. Otherwise, your business may be driven towards a destination that does not reflect or that is contrary to what you actually have in mind for creating that business. For creating that business, and this reminds me of an experience I had, all right, while I was working with an organization a couple of years ago. All right, this organization was set up, all right, by someone who wanted to provide solution, right? And she set up the business. She went and partnered with a company, an organization, and she became she opened an outlet for that organization. All right. But there was little or no leadership on ground. There was little or no leadership on ground, to the point that certain things as basic as just having regular meetings with the staff, ensuring that there's a smooth running of the business, nothing of such was on ground. It was more of a free for all. It was more of a family affair, family and friends affairs. And as I'm speaking with you or to you right now, that particular business, that particular organization is no longer in existence. Why? Because of lack of leadership. Because of lack of leadership. And as we go deeper into this discourse, you get to understand the importance of having leadership in your business. All right. So I want you to note that some of the things you need to know about your business is the following. I would mention about 5 or 6 things, as it were. I want you to understand number one thing you need to understand is that your employees, they actually look up to you for direction. Your employees, they actually look up to you for direction. I'm going to be defining what ideally business leadership is about, but I just needed you to understand the dynamics. I want you to understand certain things about your business and about the individuals that you're also bringing on board should you have employees that are working with you in your business. So they look up to you. Even if you give them the liberty, the free hand to bring in ideas, to bring on board ideas and all that, they still look up to you to lead the way. You understand? To lead the way. You understand? That's the reason why whatever anybody would say, it is the bulk of course of the matter will stop on your desk. You understand? To append your signature or to give the final verdict or to take the final decision on whatever matters it is that is arising. All right. So I want you to know that. Number two is the fact that those that work for you also have ambitions. Those that work for you also have ambitions. In every human beings are ambitions. A human being is a bunch of ambition. Every human being is a bunch of ambition. You understand? Has ambitions and aspirations that they have. You understand? So it is very, very important. It's very, very important. So they have ambitions. They have life ambitions. So you need to understand that. That's the reason why they act the way that they do. You understand? That's the reason why they act the way that they do. Because they have. You need to come to terms with that reality. So that's the reason why some of them will aspire to want to further the education. Some of them will want to take one or two courses. Some of them want to apply for maybe a study leave. Some of them want to apply. Some of them, mind you, as they are in your employment, some of them are even putting out applications elsewhere. You understand? Because the truth of the matter is that in every human being is that desire to want to get better at something. In every human being is that desire to want to lead a better life. All right. And so that's why they are always on the lookout for opportunities that will help them live a better life. Do you understand? So you need to come to terms with that reality. All right. So aside that, also, I want you to understand that I want you to understand that employees too, they have potentials. They have potentials that your business may need. You understand? They have potentials that your business may need to be able to advance its course. So you need to come to terms with that reality. You understand? They have potentials. Like for example, where I used to work that I cited earlier, there's one of the members of staff, all right, that even has a training on productions, all right, on productions, and that training on productions could have been leveraged on to be able to advance that particular company or that particular organization. You understand? So they have that. So what you now do with such people, what now happens to them or happens to their potentials, would now determine whether or not your organization, your business will take advantage, will leverage those or not. So I want you to also understand that having the best of equipment does not guarantee success. I know that this may come as a shocker to somebody, but the truth of the matter is that having the best of equipment is not a guarantee that your business would succeed. You need to understand that having the best of equipment is not a guarantee that your business will succeed. Business success goes beyond just acquiring equipment. It goes way beyond that. Do you understand? So lastly, you need to understand that your business is your sole responsibility first before that of others. Your business and what happens to it is your sole responsibility first before others. Do you understand? So now that we have gotten this out of the way, let's now define what business leadership is all about. Now, business leadership means the following. Number one, creating that enabling environment for your business to succeed. And what does it mean to create that enabling environment for business to succeed? Number one is providing the necessary tools or equipment that is required to be able to function well as a business, to be able to make your productions easier, to be able to render service if you're a service-based business. You understand? So leadership would mean that you're providing the necessary tool that can be used for work. Do you understand? That is one. And talking about tools, talking about policies. You understand? Talking about even welfare, talking about trainings. These are all part of you providing the things that are necessary, the environment, the enabling environment that will be able to help your business move. So that is one of the things that business leadership is about. Another thing that business leadership means, it means taking responsibility first for whatever happens. For whatever happens. What I see around is when clients are not forthcoming or customers are not walking through certain doors of some businesses, the next thing they want to now do is to blame it on their employees. Some would say that their employees are docile, they are unproductive, they are on all of this and all of that. And I asked the question, what have you invested in these employees? You understand? In line with what you expect of them. What have you given? Is the environment, have they undergone any training? Because what I've also come to realize is there are some business people, some business owners, some business founders who wouldn't mind spending thousands of dollars, right? Thousands of dollars setting up a business, and they want to spend little or nothing on equipping those that would be operating the business or will be driving the business. And that is an abnormality, because when you invest in getting equipment, you understand, you invest in acquiring equipment, and you don't invest in the people that will handle the equipment. You don't invest in their training. You don't make the necessary investment in them. You may still not get the right output. It's just a matter of time. That business will shut down. Do you understand? So it's very important. So there's need for you to first take full responsibility. If your business is not it's not generating the anticipated or the projected revenue, it is up to you to find out what the issue is. First, take responsibility. It is because it's when you decide to take responsibility that you want to do something about it. It's important for you to note that. So, another very important thing is putting systems in place that will enable people achieve or fulfill their aspiration. And how does this happen? Maybe once in a while you may want to run your appraisals, and you're doing appraisal, deliberately add some items in your questionnaires. You ask them, okay, what do you aspire to become? What do you aspire to become? What do you aspire to become? So all of those things will give you an idea of what the aspirations are, what the aspirations of those working with you are. You understand? So if that is the case, you may then want to put systems in place that will help them actualize those aspirations. I know that for some business leaders, for some business owners, they'll be like, oh, if you invest in these people now, they will run away. They'll go and set up their own. As much as I want to agree with you, the truth of the matter is that people ideally, the right kind of people will feel indebted to you. You understand? And so some of them may want to ensure that they also give you back your return on investment by putting in the work, by investing the knowledge that they have gotten, all right, investing it by bringing ideas on board that would help your business become better before they leave. And sometimes some of these people, even if they leave, they technically may become an extension of your business. How do I mean? If they leave and they go to certain, maybe they get employed in certain organization by virtue of their new skill set and all of that, and maybe there are certain openings that your business could take advantage of, you'll be the first point of call. And from those transactions alone, you may recover all that you have spent on them. And even at that, they will still feel indebted to you. That is the beauty of helping people actualize their ideal aspirations. All right? So, apart from that, also, it's also creating an inspiring environment. And this reminds me of someone who was working for one organization. I think somebody just left for political office and just thought to put together a business in quote, right? And he employed someone, and I got talking with the person, and the person was just complaining how boring that place is, how bored she was, and all of that. And she mentioned something that the place is not inspiring. And I tried to find out why did she think that way, and she explains, she makes certain explanation, and it makes so much sense. The question is, how inspiring is your business place? You understand? How motivated or how motivating is your business space? Is your business inspiring enough? Is the environment inspiring enough? What kind of conversations do you usually have with your employees? Are your conversations laden with so much pessimism, or is it with so much optimism? How have you succeeded? Have you been able to paint a powerful future that that they can see? And do they see themselves? Do they see the actualization of their dreams in that bigger picture for your business? That would, if the bigger picture of your business, if it has the fulfillment of their dreams or of their aspirations in it, and maybe you're able to create that, translate that into a picture, and you kept it somewhere. Anytime they enter into that environment, they feel inspired. You understand? Yes, I know that for some of you, the kind of business you do may not be intellectual in nature, but you need to find a way to bring some sort of inspiration into it. Because if the environment is not inspiring, the people may not be inspired, and if they're not inspired, they may not be motivated to put in the best that they are supposed to put in. So think about that. So, and if they're not inspired, they can be innovative. So business leadership means creating an inspiring environment that will enable employees to become innovative. Then it also means exemplifying or modeling the path that you want your business to go. Don't be the kind of founder or employer that would say one thing and you're doing the direct opposite. If you as the founder report to office by 7 o'clock or 7:30, and let's say the official work hour is 8 o'clock, 8 a.m., employees will have no choice than to start coming to work early. Because what you are simply communicating and what the message they will get is, if the founder, the owner of this business would be on seat before 8 a.m., what choice, what excuse do I have not to be there? But if you are the type who is never around, it's never around, and you don't put systems in place to check whether they are punctual or not, they will come at any time they like. And once it is time for payment of their salaries, you have no choice than to pay them. All right. So then part of your business leadership is also paying attention to their welfare, to the welfare of your workers. You understand? Paying attention, doing your best to ensure that they are taken care of is also part of business leadership. Part of business leadership. Do you understand? It's also part of business leadership. So now let's move to what business leadership is not, because it's important that I also highlight this. What business leadership is not. Number one, business leadership is not being a control freak. It is not being controlling. Business leadership is not being controlling. Because why I needed to say this is that there are some business owners that are control freak. You understand? The reason why they do this is they want to show that they are in charge. That is not business leadership. That is not business leadership. Business leadership is not being a control freak. It's not being a control freak. Do you understand? It is also not putting people under subjection. It is not a subject master kind of arrangement. That is not business leadership. That is simply rulership or dictatorship. And if you are more of a dictator, more of a ruler than a leader over your business or over the people that you have employed and all that, you will not get the best from them. You will not get the best from them. You understand? So it's important. So business leadership is also not delegating duties to others and taking the responsibilities for supervising them. That's what some people do. Some people would spend millions of naira or thousands of dollars to put together a business, and they will just go and hire some individuals and give them the responsibility and just take off. Today they are chilling in Dubai, tomorrow they are chilling in Maldives, the after tomorrow they are chilling in the United Kingdom and all of that. That is not leadership. You understand? Now, you may be doing all of those things. Maybe after a while, when your business stabilized, you may decide you can afford some of these luxuries. But then, do you have systems in place to check? That is also that's those systems that you put in place to be able to check. It's also part of you providing leadership. So it is not delegating responsibilities and not supervising them, not even asking questions, not putting systems in place to be able to check whether those things that you ask people to do, whether they are doing it or not. Do you understand? So it is also not claiming titles and doing nothing. You cannot say that you are the CEO of your business and you are not an executioner indeed. You understand? If you say that you are the CEO, it simply means that you are the chief executive officer. What being an executive means that you are the chief executing officer. Meaning that if others are doing the work, the onus is on you to do more of the work that they are doing. By implication, it simply implies that if they are putting in 8 hours into your business, into the operations of your business, you are meant to put the minimum of 8 hours. You understand? Because it is not claiming titles, because there are some people who would tell you that they are self-employed or they decide to set up a business just to bear the title founder or chairman or president or chief executive officers. Until you begin to take charge of that business, The title Chief Executive Officer does not befit you. It is just nothing but an empty title. And you don't want that for yourself. You understand? It's very, very important. Because there are some people who are chief executive officers that of their businesses that don't know anything about what happens in their business. So when you reach out to them, want you to find out certain things, they can't give you answers because they don't know. Meaning that they are not in charge. They are only in charge by portfolio. They are only in charge by way of structure. They are only in charge by way of title. But indeed, they are not in charge of their business. And this is not business leadership. All right. Another thing that business leadership is not is implementing only your ideas and shutting out that of others. And this reminds me again of where I used to work. There was a time that we needed to make more noise about our business, and we reached out to a radio station, and they were magnanimous enough to come up with a jingle. The only thing that the founder needed to do was just to invest money by paying for airtime for those jingles to be aired. And she was just dancing around until that opportunity left. And today, like I mentioned earlier, that particular business is no longer in existence. Do you understand? So, it is not just about your ideas alone. That you created the business does not mean that every idea should just evolve, or everything should evolve around the idea. I liken one person's idea to be you seeing things from one perspective. From one perspective, just like you facing your front, for example. You may necessarily not see what happens on your right or on your left. But imagine somebody who is standing side by side you, but instead of facing front, the person is facing your left. Then another person standing, instead of facing front like you're facing, is facing your right. You understand? So imagine that kind of situation. Then somebody standing behind you, instead of facing the same direction like you're facing, the person is facing backward. Tell me, whatever it is that may want to happen, if all of you are working with one objective, which is to be able to help your business, if anything wants to happen to that business, there's a likelihood or the chance that the business would survive it. Why? Because people are delegated to see things from different perspectives. And that is the beauty of having people on board with you as you operate your business. So business leadership is not just all about your idea, and if it is not coming from you, you're not buying it. No, it's about others bringing in their own perspective to it, bringing their ideas on board that is relevant to the objective of the business to be able to advance it further. Lastly, business leadership is not taking care of yourself alone while others suffer. Now, here's one thing you need to understand. If it is a product-based business or it's a service-based business, so long as you have employees, especially if you have accountants in your employ, you have maybe a cashier, you have a receptionist who handles the accounting and all of those things. They have an idea of what comes into your business's coffers. They have an idea of what comes into your accounts. Now, this is not an act of prognosing. It's just a reality that you need to come to terms with as a business leader or as a business owner. They know how much comes in. So if you're not treating them well, they know. There are some of you watching this right now that you need to change. And what do you need to change from? Some of you need to begin to pay attention to the welfare of those working for you. In truth, there are some of them working for you that you know that in line or based on the current realities, what you are paying them cannot really take them home. And your business has a capacity to be able to at least extend or expand or maybe do a little increase to what you're paying them as salaries. You may need to do that. If all you do is to get all of the monies and say, after all, I sweated to come up with this business, and now that the business is good, it's time to chill. You may be chilling, all right, and they feel that, okay, what we're being paid here is not commensurate to what we should be paid ideally. Guess what? What you will simply be doing? You simply be breeding thieves, because the natural instinct in man is survival. You're breeding thieves, and before you know it, they'll begin to get ideas. And some, if they cannot steal from you, before you know it, you may lose your best hands to your competitors. And woe betide you if that happens. Because what will begin to happen is that may kickstart the winding down of your business. But I pray that doesn't happen to you. So these are some of the things that business leadership is not. I want you to understand that leading a business is both from the front and from behind. Yes, I know that what you have come to believe is that leaders lead from the front. Leaders lead from the front. But in terms of business, you also lead from behind. What does that mean? The lead from the front, like probably you know already. In my own words, is leading the path. You're in front, showing, directing, giving directions, giving guidance, and all of those things. But there would come a time where you may need to step back, and allow people express their gifts, allow people express their potentials. So what you may need to do while you're stepping back, while you're behind, is to provide supervisory role, so that what you painted as the objective or as the vision for your business, people are in line. And sometimes they may need to revert to you for some form of guidance or some form of clarity or the other. This is what it means to be leading both from behind, leading both from the front and from behind as a business leader. So it's very important that you understand this. And I want you to understand something. As much as you begin to assume your leadership position, as you begin to take charge, take responsibility for your business, it is natural for you to begin to get into limelight. Do you understand? It is natural for everything to flow around you. It is natural for people to want to ask, okay, who is the founder? Who is the CEO? And everybody refers people to you. It is important, and it is possible for you to. It is also that would naturally make you have all of that. But then, as you assume, as you get into limelight, as much as you can, it is part of business leadership, part of leadership quality, to also tag others along. You understand? It's important to also tag them along so that they would also learn the lifestyle of being in limelight, because that is also good for the branding of your business, for the image making of your business, so that they don't get into limelight, so that when the spotlight is shone on them, they don't mess up your business. They don't, by maybe acting in an attitude that they shouldn't act, because they are not used to the limelight anyways. So it's important that as a business leader, there's also a responsibility to also tag along as many as you have seen potentials in them, to also tag them along at the limelight. And how you can do this is sometimes you deliberately delegate them. Let's say you have certain functions you're supposed to attend, and you can necessarily not attend it, and it will not cause any harm to your business. You can decide to say, okay, your manager or whoever that you feel can best project your business in a good light. You can ask them, hey, dress up, you're going to represent us somewhere. You understand? So it's very, very important. All right. So now, to become an ideal business leader, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to do the following. Begin to take responsibility. That's the first thing. Become responsible. Take responsibilities for your business. Wake up and take responsibilities for business. That's the first thing. The second thing is for you to constantly develop yourself. Self-development cannot be overemphasized. Constantly develop yourself. It's very important that you constantly develop yourself. Constantly develop yourself. If you want to lead well, constantly develop yourself. Go for trainings, go for conferences, sign up for master classes, all right, coaching programs and all of that. Because the better you become as an individual, the better you enhance your chances of providing quality leadership that will move your business to the next level. It's important. Then, apart from that, also do away with laziness and show up more. There are some of you that maybe you run a service-based business and you maybe do contracts a lot, and because you have capable hands, sometimes they just give you a contract and you just push people there, and you don't go there to see what's happening. You need to stop that. You understand? Because sometimes your presence there alone communicates. Your presence there alone can make a whole lot of difference. You understand? So you need to do it with laziness. Instead of just chilling away your time, why not become diligent by showing up? It's very important. Then aside that, also you need to also encourage innovative ideas from others. Encourage innovative ideas. When certain ideas are put on the table, before you discard them, look at their viability. You understand? Look at their viability. And if for any reason you may not be able to work with that idea, let those who put forth those ideas feel important. Let them know that their ideas are always welcome. But just that for the time being, give them reasons why that idea may not be implemented or may not be considered. Let them feel like human beings that are important, that are VIPs, so that they will be more than willing to bring forth ideas next time. It's important to note that. Then aside that, also you need to create an enabling environment that will allow others to thrive. Your business is not about you alone. Your business is also about helping other people grow. And when people don't see a future, the fulfillment of their future or an aspect of their future's fulfillment in your business, it is the reason why some people are working for A and they are searching for a job in Mr. B's organization. It is the reason for that. Okay, so lastly, as we conclude, I hope so far it's making sense, right? I hope so far. I hope that up until now, you now know what business leadership is about. You know what business leadership is not. I believe you now understand some of the dynamics or what some of the things you should expect in your business, all right? And I also hope that you've learned a lot. So now, let's begin to bring the whole thing together as we begin to round off. I call this loyalty building tips. Some of the things, and these are practical things that I've tried out and it's working. Some of the things that you can do as a business leader to build loyalty, because one of the major challenges we have is that we have a lot of businesses who have employees that are not loyal. And the reason why they're not loyal is their peculiar reasons. And to an extent, in all fairness to the employees, sometimes you won't blame them. I mentioned some of the reasons why they could not be loyal to you and some of the reasons why they can be loyal to you. You understand? So just go over this very carefully, all right? So the first thing is genuinely care about their welfare, the welfare of those working for you and working with you. They genuinely care. Go out of your way when you hear that somebody is sick. You understand? Beyond just giving them some days off, do a follow-up call. Ask them how they're doing. And if you can, support in paying their medical bills. You understand? Just show that you care. People want to know that you truly care. They don't want to be seen as tools that you just use to do your work. They want to know that you genuinely care for them. It's very important. Aside that, also it's important that you also build good relationships with them. Let your relationship with them be a good one. Yes, I know that there are some people who tell you if you are too nice to these employees, they will just ride you. No, only bad people will, but good people will appreciate that you have. They will appreciate good relationship with you, and with a good relationship with them, there are certain things that they will begin to go out of their way to do for you that ordinarily they wouldn't do for you. I'm saying this from experience. Then aside that, also accommodate and facilitate, if need be, their aspirations. Now, some of them maybe all they have is maybe their first degree. You understand? And they have aspirations to maybe get other degrees and other certifications. If you are able to find out some of this, go out of your way, sponsor some of them. Are you getting me? Like I said, only a wicked person will not appreciate a good gesture. Only wicked people will not appreciate good things, good deeds done for them. Do you understand? Now, like I mentioned before and I'll mention again, if their capacity is increased, if they succeed in getting that education and they're still working for you, will rub off on your business operation, especially if it's in line with what you do as a business. Are you getting my point? So it is important. And that breeds loyalty. It shows that this person is not just only interested in just us working for them or operating their business, they're also interested in us improving our lives. And it is the reason why some people have stuck with certain organizations for years. It is for that reason. That some of them have said, you know what, where else can we get this kind of nice treatment? The pay may not be too fantastic, but the leadership there, the leaders there, or the founder cares. And even sometimes some may even take certain bullets for the business. Why? Because of loyalty. Loyalty is very powerful and it's rare to build. But when you are able to build it, the effect is incredible. Apart from that, also, you need to also create or make opportunities available for employees to soar. And that's the reason why I mentioned earlier that you need to tag along some as you get to the spotlight. Let them know that, it's on the account of working for this person that I was able to achieve X, Y, Z. It's on the account of working for this person that I was able to get into this network. It's on the account of working for this person or working with this person that I was able to get this and get that. Like I said before, people will not forget if you truly care. They will remember. Even the worst of people, even the worst of persons, they know deep down in their hearts that indeed you cared for them. You understand? You cared for them. Maybe the wickedness in their heart might have overshadowed or may not allow them express that openly, but they know deep down that you care. All right. So I think that is that. You understand? So in conclusion, I want you to understand that the better your leadership, the better your business. The better leadership you provide, the better your business will become. Because everything as far as your business is concerned rises and falls on the leadership that you provide or did not provide. So the choice is actually yours. Now you have the secret as to why some businesses are doing well and some are not doing well. And I conclude by saying this: the potentials that your business has, and also the potentials that those working for you carry, is best harnessed, utilized, and also leveraged on if there is a good leadership in place. The question I want to leave you is, who is driving your business? Are you the one driving your business by leading the path? Or is somebody else driving the business? The choice is actually yours to make. My name is Simon Matthew, and I trust that you've learned something in the course of this. So feel free, talk to me. What stood out to you in the course of this class? I would like to hear from you.